This is quitting addiction. In the last episode, we discussed the various types of behavior addiction. If you're just joining this podcast for the first time, I recommend you go back to previous episodes so you can follow up on the discussion. Every addiction a person finds himself in has consequences. Consequences on you first as an individual, and then on your family by extension, and on the society at large. I'd like us to look at infertility. One of the consequences of addiction, especially substance addiction, is infertility. Many of us are already familiar with the term infertility, but for sake of clarity, I'm going to define infertility as the inability to get pregnant as a female, or the inability to impregnate a fertile female after having carefully timed unprotected intercourse for 1 year. So a person can get married, settle down in life, and is unable to reproduce children. Yes, there are certain reasons why people might be unable to conceive after several years of having unprotected intercourse. Some may be natural, some may be unnatural. We are going to narrow down on infertility as one of the major consequences of substance addiction. Let us look at the reproductive system. The male reproductive system is responsible for producing spermatozoa, or which many of you will call sperm. A man that has undergone puberty is able to reproduce millions of healthy sperm cells. So when he copulates with the opposite sex or with a woman who is also fertile, reproduction takes place. And reproduction is a process whereby a fetus is formed when the male sperm meets with the female egg. Then a woman can be said to be pregnant. But in a situation whereby the sperm cells of the male have been affected adversely from prolonged use of certain substances, or from the abuse of certain substances over a long period of time, such a man can become infertile. That means you are unable to perform your natural obligations. You are unable to produce offspring. So we are going to quickly look at some of the effects of substance abuse on the reproductive system of both the man and the woman. Now, for instance, one of the first effects you see a man suffering from as a result of substance abuse is low sperm count. Now, a healthy male has the ability to ejaculate millions of healthy sperms that have the capacity to swim and fertilize the female egg. But when a person is indulging in, for instance, cigarettes, marijuana, steroids, cocaine, these are substances that have dangerous chemicals in them. When you keep ingesting these substances into your system over a long period of time as a young man, they go ahead to damage your reproductive system. This damage on the reproductive system is what leads to infertility. And so you see that you are unable to produce healthy sperm cells. The sperm cells that you produce are reduced in quantity and potency. They are unable to fertilize the female egg. Testosterone is a male sex hormone responsible for the development of the male reproductive system. And one of the things alcohol, marijuana, or cigarette does to the reproductive system is it reduces the ability of the body of the male reproductive system to produce testosterone. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. Some of these terms may be strange to you, but I'll try to break it down as much as possible so that I can carry everybody along. When the hormone responsible for the production of sperm is greatly reduced as a result of indulging in substance abuse over a long period of time, such a man becomes impotent. And it is dangerous because you do not know that you have gotten to that stage of infertility up until you get to the point where you need to fertilize an egg. That means when you need a child. Some of the substances that youths abuse at an early age, you may call it catching cruise, but you are destroying your reproductive system. At the point where you need to raise a family, you are unable to do that. You are unable to have children. The end result of that is a failed marriage. At some point, the marriage begins to break. The marriage begins to shake. You see people are now opting for divorce because of the woman's inability to conceive or the man's inability to fertilize. Erectile dysfunction is also another effect or consequence of substance abuse. What this means is that your male genital is unable to penetrate the female genital for copulation to take place. So you can be in the room with your wife and you are unable to have an erection. You try as much as possible. The woman tries everything she can do, but the man is unable to have an erection. It is not that he is not interested in copulating or making love to his wife, but because of the damage drugs or narcotics or pills have caused to his system over a prolonged use in the past, he is unable to have a normal sexual life with his wife. You see a person having low libido. What is libido? Sexual drive. You suddenly lose interest in anything that has to do with sexuality. So you are married, but your wife does not appeal to you sexually. This can be very damaging to any marriage. Many marriages today have broken just because of this infertility. Just this. And if you are being honest with your partner, you should tell her or tell him, when I was younger, I used to smoke. I used to smoke cigarettes for so many years. I used to take marijuana. I used to take steroids. I used to take alcohol for so many years. That is probably why I am unable to satisfy you in bed. But you see, most men, because of ego and pride, will not come out clean. They will not be sincere, and so they blame the woman. Quitting addiction today is the first step to having a home tomorrow. Many people don't have a home today anymore because of the bad habits they have formed over years. So when you quit for 6 months to 1 year, you give your body time to heal and reproduce stronger and healthier sperm cells. Most women are unable to even keep a pregnancy. They've had up to 5, 6, 7 miscarriages. You're unable to keep a fetus in your womb up to the 3rd trimester, up to the point when you are ready to give birth. You are unable. It's either you have an issue with conceiving, and if you successfully conceive, you have an issue keeping the fetus in up to the point of maturity where you can now go into labor to give birth. And sometimes, even if you get to the point of giving birth to that child, the child comes out deformed. So we have situation of women who give birth to children that are deformed. The child comes out with some certain kind of deformity which is not normal. And when we run some investigation, some medical checkup on the history or the lifestyle of that person, in previous years, you discover the presence of certain addictions, certain substances in the system that have damaged the ability of that person to produce healthy offspring. So you might have a child who might come out an imbecile. Why? Because the mother, while she was pregnant or before she even got married, has been indulging in some dangerous substances that now her system is unable to produce healthy offspring. So the children come out deformed and struggle and suffer for the rest of their life. You also, as a parent, will struggle and suffer to give that child a normal life or something close to a normal life because of substance abuse. Sometimes the mother of the man can go ahead and even bring a second wife. We see these things happen. You come back from work one day and discover that your mother-in-law has brought another wife for your husband. The woman needs grandchildren. On the wedding day, everybody was dancing and jubilating, expecting that in 1 year or approximately 2 years, there will be the cry of a baby in the home. So the woman is looking forward to come and do omugo in your home, and then you cannot produce an offspring. The man may be patient because he loves his wife, but for how long? And if it is the woman who is at fault, or if it is the man who is at fault, because of our culture and in this part of the world, it is very easy to blame the woman. But in most cases, it is the man who is at fault. Maybe not in all cases, but whoever is at fault, let it not be that your infertility is as a result of substance abuse or as a result of addiction, if we may put it that way. So what is the solution? Quit today. Yes, you can quit that addiction, because when you quit that addiction for 6 months, you stay clear of the drugs, you stay clear of the pills, you stay clear of the cigarette and the alcohol for a period of 6 months to 1 year, your body begins to regenerate. New sperm cells are created over time. And because the presence of that toxic substance in your system is no longer there to damage the sperm cells or to hinder the process, you begin to produce healthier sperm cells. Your system begins to recover and rejuvenate. So over a period of 2 to 3 years of abstinence from these substances, you are now as good as brand new. Same thing for the woman. Your hormones begin to secrete normally, and you discover that your chances of getting pregnant become higher. So quit that addiction today. I know that an addiction is not easy to come out of, but it is possible. And so if you are having an addiction problem and you are listening to this podcast, there is a reason why God brought you to this podcast. Message us or drop your experiences in the comment section, and somebody will reach out to you so that you can be helped. Because what you feel is cruise, what people call catching cruise, what you feel you're just having fun, you are damaging your future. You are killing your unborn children. And you are also cutting your lifespan short. So, wouldn't you like to have a home where your children are running around the house? Wouldn't it be beautiful to take your children to school and pick them back? Wouldn't it be lovely to look in the face of your offspring and smile and say, "This is my child"? That child is supposed to grow tomorrow to bring smiles on your face. That child can grow tomorrow to become the president of the nation. The child can grow tomorrow to become the next Dangote or the next Elon Musk. Why do you want to scuffle that future just because you want to be smoking cigarettes today, because you want to catch cruise, because you want to get high? And all the highness you have been high all these years, what do you have to show for it? In the previous episodes, we discussed on substance addiction and what people suffer. First of all, it is a hole in the pocket. You have nothing to show for all the cruise you have been catching. Some of the things we eat, they are not healthy for us. Some of the junk food that people eat on a daily basis, they are not healthy for you. They contain certain chemicals that can have adverse effects on your reproductive system. Some of the fast food you buy, the chemicals they use to preserve them so they don't go bad, those chemicals may affect you later in life. So on a daily basis, you are eating those foods, those fast foods, eating those junks, eating those things. You realize that even maybe when you were not a smoker or an alcoholic, you still have a problem with fertility. It goes beyond just the substance abuse. Your lifestyle also can affect your ability to produce offspring. So look at yourself. Are you overweight? In the last episode, we discussed on eating as an addiction. Some people are addicted to eating, and so when you are eating and eating and eating and eating, it is only normal that you begin to expand. It's only normal that you begin to get fatter and fatter. And when you become overweight, this can also lead to infertility. So look at yourself. Are you overweight? Do something about it today. Register in a gym. You can wake up early in the morning, jog around your environment, move around, limit your eating habits, limit the kind of things you eat. Eat healthy, eat vegetables, so that you can trim down and live a healthier life. Some people later in life move from one religious house to the other, blaming village people. Some people take advantage of that to extort money from you in the name of giving you spiritual help. But I am giving you all the information you need today to live a healthier and a better life tomorrow. If you are not yet married and you are listening to me right now, you are still young and you have found yourself in one of these substance abuse, you can quit today because you were not born that way. Yes, you can quit today. So if you need help, you can reach out to us. You can send us a DM. We can help you come out of it so you can have a beautiful future. If you have listened up to this point, you're a good listener, and I must commend you. If you have any experience you would like to share concerning any of the issues we have raised today, kindly do so in the comment section. You can send me a DM if you need to speak to someone, and we'll reach out to you. Like this video, share it among your friends because someone needs to hear this. And don't forget to follow Quitting Addictions to stay updated with subsequent episodes. I remain your presenter, Ben. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.